Even with the pain, I wonder if you're consumed by rage or dread. Neither benefits you, but dread suggests an honesty that I have to admire. Were you expecting a fair fight? A climactic showdown in the street? Sergio tried it that way, didn't he? My brother had heart, I'll give him that. I've never had a mind for fair fights, though I've won my share. I prefer domination, and most importantly, survival. That's all that matters. You want to speak, don't you? No doubt you have a pithy retort or some eloquent overture prepared that would convince me to throw down my arms. Not tonight. This time you'll be silent, like a dog following its owner. When this is over, you'll acknowledge me as your master. You're going to beg for death. You'll pray to God for it to end, but he won't listen. Only when you pray to me will you gain release. But that can wait. Right now I'm an official agent of the New California Republic, warden of their new outpost in Frosto. In my administration, law and order will be upheld without exception. Why not get off to a strong start here and now?
Please don't do this.
By the powers invested in me by the New California Republic, I hereby authorize these agents of the justice system to collect unlawful bounties.
Takes care of that.
So it was done, all according to the law. Randall. You came so far only to taste the bitterness of defeat again. Deep down, you knew it would end this way. Ford, you were quite eager to betray Mr. Randall. Why don't you do the honors?
You son of a bitch!
Now, what are we going to do with you? I could put a round in your head, make it quick, clean. Then again, that's been tried. I don't fear failure so much as being unoriginal. No, I've got something better in mind. You ever hear of stories of drunks being buried alive? Since you're not in a position to speak, I'll take your indignant squinting as a yes, so I'll continue. When a man is buried alive in, say, a coffin, he might have 30 minutes or so to live. Trust me, I know. I've seen it firsthand. It's one heck of an interrogation technique, acting like you're burying them. I leave them down there for a bit, then pull them up. They always come up gasping. A few even lose their minds in that short span. I guess it's the darkness and the noise. Imagine, your breathing is strained, dust fills your mouth and eyes, and you hear the weight of earth shifting above you. It's inexorable death. That's why I saved you for last. I want you to feel that terror as you dwell on what transpired here tonight, how you were beaten. No matter how hard you are, the terror will take you eventually. In that moment, when you're wishing for it all to end, just remember, I was the one man who beat you, and that's what people will remember, what they'll say for years to come. It isn't just your body that I'm burying tonight, it's your legend.
Hey, boss, you sure you don't want me to shoot him first?
No, I want the courier to suffer to the last. You hear that, friend? Of course you can, even with that hood on. Is the coffin comfy? Just so you know, I'm putting you in an unmarked grave in the middle of nowhere. From a legal standpoint, you will have simply vanished. You're going to be just another anonymous stiff. You afraid now? Just let it wash over you. Don't fight it. You're so close to the end. I wonder how you might have molded the Mojave if you'd lived. I'm sure people will speculate to no end. They'll forget you, though. They always do. At this moment of acute reflection, I wonder if you appreciate the futility of your efforts. Your mentor is dead. Really dead. I'll face no legal or governmental consequences. Quite the contrary. I'll become a respected citizen, leaving this town while the worms gnaw on your rotting corpse. You remember that when the air thins out. If you could do it all over again, would you even come here? So much to ponder in the darkness. Rest easy. Close it up, boys.
And the dead shall rise and walk the earth. Wasn't sure you'd make it, but here you are, on your feet no less. Doodling check, seeing how the previous owner no longer has stake in it. I figured it was good enough for my needs. At least it's warm. Track Mark on his boys after what happened in town. Saw them aim to bury you alive, so I watched and waited. Marco cleared out and left a pair of men behind, so I slipped in, took them down with a flashbang and a few smacks with my baton. Then I went digging as fast as possible, found you unconscious but breathing. Lucky for you, that doc had some blood in his stores. I managed to get you up here in the dark. Got that blood in you, then patched you up your hands. You're damn lucky you know that. The followers of the apocalypse. I was a physician for a time, enjoyed helping people. That was all I wanted to do as a young man. But when you see good people get hurt and nothing's done, nothing changes. It can move you to action. I thought I could make things right. That's why I hunted men down for so long. It was never about money. Everyone I gunned down was a tiny piece of justice for what I'd lost. You do it for enough time, you stop seeing them as men. They're everything you hate, everything you fear, personified. Maybe I could go back to the followers, start practicing again somewhere, start over. I'm done killing though. That I could promise you. He left town to bury Randall's body. He must have thought pretty highly of him, because the rest were buried in a mass grave. When I last went into town to nab supplies, I saw most of the hunters were living it up in the saloon. Ford was with them. Look, I want to leave this place and never look back. I'm making straight for Mojave, so you're welcome to join me. Burning your boats on the shore, huh? Look, if this is how you want to play it, I'll respect your decision. I can't help you, but I'll wait here. You'll surprise them. They'll probably panic. Don't expect Marco to go easy, though. You're walking wounded. Won't be healed for weeks at least. Marco won't take any chances this time. He'll kill you. That's just a rage talking, like you're possessed by an animal. You go after Marco blinded by anger and he'll kill you all the same. I won't stop you, but I won't leave you either. I'll wait here for a day or two. If you don't come back, I'll just assume the worst and move on. Yes?
Watch out! Over here! This is hopeless!
How in the... I should have known. I deliberately provided simple instructions, yet people can't manage if I'm not supervising. I do hate leadership at times. There's no way you can be healed up. Why even come here? You can't win this fight. You're broken and alone. You lost. You could have walked out of this canyon and I'd never have given you a second thought. Apparently, I'm just not good at vengeance. You killed my brother, so I maimed and humiliated you, then slaughtered a town and forced you to watch. That's more or less even, right? I know you're anxious to spew some venomous diatribe, but permit me a moment. Let's say that a miracle occurs and you killed me. You'll limp back to the Mojave with a broken body, your myth shattered. People will only remember your feelings. They're just lousy that way. They won't talk about how you killed me. They'll mock you for getting captured and allowing the town to get butchered. You had a good thing in the Mojave. You should have stayed there. Quite a stage we have here, huh? Audience of dead men. Go ahead, tell me how I'm destined for the infernal reaches or all manner of mutilation. I'm sure it will be very bold and original. Scared? No, not in the least. I'm gravely disappointed. You had to get involved with every little thing, didn't you? Before you killed my brother, I had a good thing going here. I had real peace for the first time in my life, and you took it from me. I'll get it back with the NCR, but it's going to be a while before the fire goes out inside. That's why I hate you. You remind me of what I am. I'd kill you 1,000 times if I could, just to see that look. The moment when you realize that you're no better than me. Even if you survive, you'll carry the curse. You'll never have a normal life. People will always see the blood on your hands before anything else. So no, I'm not scared. I pity you. Ford was a parasite, the lowest form of man. Unable to stand on his own, forge his own path. He could only leech off the energy of others. At least Randall had purpose and guts. Once the hunters were paid and gone, I was going to personally cut Ford's throat. So thanks. As for being alone, that's how it's always been. Anyone who's honest knows that's what life is. It's a slow, lonely stroll through hell. Only person I ever cared about was my brother, and you took it upon yourself to snuff him out for a greasy wad of cabs. This is how it should be. I'm ready, courier. Ah, yes, the reliable quip about eternal judgment awaiting me after I shovel off this mortal coil. If you kill me, my punishment is just a void that can't help or harm me. A far cry from the fiery justice you envision. The right and wrong of this will be decided with our weapons, not the decree of a celestial tyrant who likes pissing on us from a cloud. I rather prefer it that way. If you disagree, just try to pray me away in the next few moments. And we'll see who tastes of darkness first.
Yes? You did it. You actually did it. I didn't expect to see you again. Sat here thinking how I'd break it to your people back in Vegas.
And so it was that the clash between the courier and Marco had come to its conclusion. Their actions had reshaped Frost Hill and irrevocably changed the fortunes of numerous inhabitants.
Shortly before the massacre at Frost Hill, an argument between Cocker and Cuddy resulted in Cuddy actually walking the fuck out the door. Cocker insisted on following Cuddy as he walked out of the Deep Creek Mountains, berating him the entire time. This continued for several weeks until Cuddy walked to an NCR recruiting station and enlisted to spite Cocker. Undeterred, Cocker enlisted beside his friend and immediately volunteered for frontline duty. Insistent that Cocker was in fact a pussy, Cuddy volunteered for the same.
Unable to retain ownership of the family farmstead, Dana soon uprooted and moved to West Side in the hopes of finding gainful employment. With few prospects, she attempted to provide for her homeless family through prostitution, but struggled to find enough clients. She committed suicide soon thereafter. Her boys turned to begging, then succumbed to chem abuse and prostitution. They died before the year's end.
Unsung and soon forgotten, Doolin was just another notch in the courier's belt. His relatives in California sometimes wondered what became of him, but they ultimately concluded that his outlaw ways had caught up with him.
For all his rage and ferocity, Porter could not cope with the courier's fatal attack. His frozen corpse would endure as a testament to the power of the courier.
Though sure of himself at the time, Lee's decision to fight the courier resulted in quick death. His cadaver was dumped on the outskirts of town, where it was torn asunder and consumed by local predators.
Godwin continued raising bighorners while secretly manufacturing mail bombs sent to NCR offices. His attacks claimed the lives of dozens of officials and innocent civilians in the years that followed. Godwin would never face justice.
Frost continued to move from town to town, always vigilant against the threat of assassination. Eventually, he headed towards the Great Plains, and he was never seen again.
Ford's dream of becoming a wasteland legend died with him in Frost Hill when he met the courier's wrath. In the final seconds before he died, Ford had hoped he'd earn his own chapter in the next dime novel about the courier.
Like the courier, Cooper survived the ordeal of near death and became closer to his new master as a result. He followed the courier to the Mojave, determined to remain a loyal companion no matter the end.
Just north of Mojave, Thorne said his goodbyes to the courier and headed towards the setting sun. Unwilling to return to his home, Thorne decided he would reconnect with the followers of the apocalypse and renew his career in medicine. By assisting the helpless and healing the infirm, Thorne was able to move past the events of Frost Hill. He prayed that the courier could do the same.
Fresh off his successful operation to annex the Deep Creek Mountains, Brookshire was warmly received by his superiors at the NCR Embassy. After he ferried the surviving orphans of Frost Hill to state homes, Brookshire quietly filed a report that classified the courier as MIA. For his efforts, he was awarded with a promotion and a special commendation. His agency's director would call him a model for us all. Brookshire then planned his next operation from within the embassy, confident of his success, never considering that the courier might return.
In spite of his best efforts to evade the courier, Glanton finally met his end, deep inside Knife Point Cavern. Glanton's surviving supporters hailed him as a martyr, and soon hunted the courier in a quest for retribution.
In the end, Marco was undone by the very trait he so often touted, resolve. The courier persevered through pain and death in order to claim victory. Without his strong leadership, the NCR outpost at Frosthill floundered. Once the 80s resumed their raids, the town was abandoned. Even after his death, Marco's name incurred fear and dread whenever it was muttered. His body had perished, but the legend endured.
Despite Marco's best-laid plans, the courier battled back from the brink of death and prevailed in the legendary duel. Though Marco was dead, the courier had not emerged from the contest unscathed. He would bear physical and mental scars for the rest of his life. Quietly enduring his injuries, he steadily limped back to the Mojave wasteland, where uncertainty and war awaited him.
Excuse me, mister, but I've got a delivery for you. Hell if I know, they don't tell me shit, and the less I know, the better. I heard that one courier got his brains blown out because he knew too much. Have a nice day.